For 2024, the Honda Africa Twin will receive a mid-life redesign that includes new front cowls and windscreens, additional torque, an electronic suspension option on some versions, and tubeless tires. The base Africa Twin, the mid-spec Africa Twin S, electronic suspension, and the flagship Africa Twin's Adventure Sports ES, which is now more road-focused than before, are the three variants of the CRF 1100L Africa Twins. The 1098cc parallel twin four-cylinder engine powers the Honda Africa Twin once more, although it has undergone some notable improvements. Actually, the engine is the main area of change. The torque has increased by 7% to 112 Nm after the compression ratio was increased from 10.1 to 10.5, along with modifications to the intake's ports, computer settings, and valve timing. The torque now occurs at 5,500 revolutions per minute, which is 750 revolutions per minute lower in the rev range. 75 kilowatts is the continued peak power. A 6-speed manual transmission or the optional DCT automatic transmission are your options. One issue with Honda's Africa Twin lineup is that the more road-focused Adventure Sports model is the only one with the bigger 24.8-liter fuel tank. The 18.8-liter capacity of the two base models is sufficient for around 340 kilometers, 210 miles. Together with the engine upgrades, the standard Africa Twin and the Africa Twin S also have better wind protection because to redesigned windscreens and bonnets, small adjustments to the intake and exhaust systems, and 2024 tubeless tires. 5 manual adjustment settings are available for the head-up display itself. Merely release either side of the screen to move it up or down. In addition to cruise control, a sleek 6.5-inch TFT display with Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto connectivity, 6 riders modes, 2 of which are user-selectable, 7 levels of traction control, 3 levels of wheelie control, cornering ABS along with an off-road setting, and LED daytime running lights are also included in this feature set. The touchscreen may be used with gloves on and dims automatically according on the amount of light outside. Because of this, the switch block is cluttered with 15 separate buttons that don't light up, making operation in low light and while traveling nearly impossible. Additionally, the on-screen menus are complicated and difficult to browse. In addition to the USB-A port and 12-volt charging outlet found on the front of both versions, the Africa Twin S also has heated grips as standard equipment. A 46mm adjustable Showa monoshock with a ProLink and 220mm of travel is located at the back, while fully adjustable Showa inverted forks with 230mm of travel are located up front. There is a 250mm ground clearance rating, and there are 2 configuration options for seat height, 850mm and 870mm. The standard electric suspension system on the mid-spec Africa Twin efficiently aims for comfort at low speeds and stability at high speeds by optimizing damping force according on speed and riding circumstances. Preload may be electrically modified for riding alone with baggage, riding with a pillion, or riding with a pillion and luggage. The S can be configured in 4 distinct ways. Most of the 2024 modifications for Honda's flagship Adventure Sports ES model have been retained elsewhere. It now has a larger 24.5-liter fuel tank, a redesigned seat, a shorter suspension travel, a lower seat height, and ground clearance, all of which are meant to make it easier to handle on longer rides. The model also has a smaller 19-inch front wheel, with swept-back handlebars and an adventure bike configuration that often wraps around you. The rider triangle allows your 175 cm tall correspondent to stand or sit comfortably. It also reduces bumps on wide roads owing to a revised hood. For off-road touring, the windscreen's 5 adjustments are a huge bonus. Because of its far wider covering than its predecessor, it offers substantially more comfort and less wear and tear. Off-road riders can ride with exceptional stability and composure across uneven terrain, including ruts and occasionally steep jumps, thanks to the electronic suspension. With some typical vibrations, the suspension provides a lot of input through the top of the stroke, but it feels controlled and maintains its resistance to the roadbed nicely and consistently. Additionally, the Africa Twin can be effectively adjusted to its environment thanks to the various suspension settings. Depending on the situation, you may soften or firm up the front and back, and you'll always notice a noticeable difference. The Africa has dual 310mm front brakes, and even at high speeds, the bike feels engaged and quite stable with everything going on below it. The forks hold up well under these conditions.